When you see ashes all around, when you feel despair, when it seems like no one cares, like you're all alone, like the storm will never end, like the wounds are too deep, and you are without hope, be compassionate with yourself just as Jesus is. We are never without hope. Allow yourself to feel the feelings. Don't sweep them under the rug. Go to your prayer closet and sit with Him. Process the hurt. Give it to Him. Then remind yourself you are not staying in the hurt. God is your healer, and He has a beautiful plan for your life. He will untangle the mess. You are not overcome. You are an overcomer in Him. The battle belongs to the Lord. He is faithful. Victory always comes from Him. Second Chronicles tells us He will fight for us. Listen to this episode to be encouraged today. Did you know that God Himself fights for us? That's right. If we are one of His children, He fights for us. I love the song Raise a Hallelujah. It says, in the middle of the storm, in the presence of my enemies, out of the ashes, hope will arise. We may not all have battles we're currently going through, but we know that in life it is 50-50. And there are times that we do, and there are times that it just seems like smooth sailing. But I love to think of the idea that whenever we are smooth sailing, we have the opportunity to draw close to God and to be prepared for whatever He has for us. And to be reminded that He's with us. He's with us in the good, He's with us in the bad. And He genuinely does fight for us. I know in my life, looking back, there's been times when I found myself just surrendering to that and recognizing that He was really in charge. He was allowing whatever the lesson was, and He was there in the midst of it. He was the one that was really working behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. He goes before us. He comes behind us. He hems us in. So although we may not all fight Goliaths, if you heard my last podcast, I talked about him, and specifically David's view of him. But I do believe that when we have a battle, be it big or small, God has prepared and equipped us for it. He knows what we need. He knows what we need to grow, what we need to learn from it. He allows us to walk through things that grow us in ways we may not have thought were imaginable. This also allows us to be a testimony for others around us. Corinthians tells us that the things we go through, we are to use to help other people. And I for sure can tell you that has been my life story, without a doubt. All of the different circumstances, when I look back and see that God has brought me through, it inspires me to think about the honor it is to help other people who have had to walk through some of those very similar circumstances. I'm sure you've had such circumstances and opportunities as well. And I would encourage you, if you haven't taken the time, to look back on those times and to see what it produces. What is the emotion it produces in you to realize the battles that you've come through and to realize it was God that brought you through them? For me, it produces hope for our future. It also produces hope for current struggles that I might be in. There's the allegory that a butterfly that's coming out of its chrysalis, if it is actually taken out of the chrysalis with some help, it's not going to be as strong as if it struggles to come out on its own, because it's the actual struggle that builds its strength to live well. And I just think that's a beautiful allegory. When God changes us, it is like the transformation that a butterfly goes through. And yet, in those struggles, He continues to change us, similar to the butterfly as well. Just some thoughts to think on. I pray that all is smooth sailing for you, but just in case you're in a little struggle, remember these words. Until next time, this is my hope for you. Be sure to subscribe and share this podcast. You can find me at stephaniejohns.com or on the gram at The Hope Coach. You can even use the links in the show notes below to apply for one-on-one or group coaching and to join my email list.